Hello and welcome to ET Garage. It's April, and in April you get showers, which bring May flowers, and just like it's downpouring outside, it's been downpouring underneath this C4 Corvette. Okay, like I was saying, it's April, and we have showers. You know, showers in April bring May flowers, and it's also showering underneath this C4 Corvette. Uh, if you've seen in the video, I don't know if you haven't been following the channel, a couple of videos ago, I was at New Media Dragway, test and tune. I very rarely go to the drag strip. This is the first time I was there maybe in 3 years, 2 or 3 years. I can't even remember. I mean, to actually run the car. I do go there occasionally on Friday nights during the summer, just to spectate. I don't like drag racing. I do like drag racing. I just don't like drag racing in this car. If I was going to go to drag strip every Friday night and run a car, I'd get something with a straight axle. I'd get an old muscle car or a Camaro or something with a straight axle in it. One of the older Camaros with a straight axle, something like that. That's and then build it just for drag racing. So this way I could drive it there, beat on it, and don't worry about blowing things up, destroying things. When you drag race, anytime you do a hard launch from a dead stop, it's just hard on the components. It is on the drivetrain, the trans, the engine, the differential. And this has the Dana 36 in it, and it's an automatic. So you got the 4L60 and the Dana 36. Excuse me. But anyway, I thought I fixed the leak in this trans, and I'll show you a picture here. This is of the transmission lines, and I couldn't see any fluid leaking from them. So I figured that wasn't it. But apparently they ended up leaking, and I took this picture from above. I'll show you the picture of where I found the leak here, taken from below, and then you can see it leaking. I actually had to, of course, put this up on jack stands, remove the exhaust on the C4 Corvette. You need to remove the exhaust to reach them, and even then they're very hard to reach. I had to use one of these stubby wrenches to reach it, and as far as I can tell, I fixed it. There was like actual wiggle in the lines. I don't know if it loosened up or when I installed it last time, I just didn't tighten enough. But I wiggled it and tightened it, and I basically moved it about 0.03 of an inch. And that's how little it took to cause a leak. I did test it. I got and I don't see any leaks under there at all. I also saw leaks, looks like from the tail shaft, so I went ahead and replaced that seal. And the VSS might be leaking. I won't know until I drive this for a while. I could be the oil from the tail shaft was just running down to the lowest point and dripping off it. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. I ran it for quite some time up here on the jack stands and ran it through the gears and stuff. Get the fluid warm and all that stuff, and I didn't see any leaks at all. So hopefully once I get this down on the ground and get it under load, it stays that way. As far as the distributor leaking, I was worried it was the China wall. Anyone who's been following this cheap Chinese intake, my recommendation on this final is don't buy it. Yeah, it's just, you're better off buying the real deal. That's a copy of the ProFlow, Edelbrock ProFlow XT. Just spend the extra money and get the real deal. Save you a lot of headache. But I still don't like the way that distributor fits, and that's part of the intake problem and part of the distributor problem too. That's another Chinese item. It's actually a Jegs distributor. I don't like the way the housing is made. So I'm going to probably hunt down a GM original one that's good, used, or do like I did when I had the tune port on here at the large cap distributor and get one from Davis Unified Ignition. That's a really good distributor. At least the large cap one. I would imagine their small cap one is good too, also, just as good. So I guess I'll find out if I ever get one. When I did this build, I was going to buy the Davis Unified, but they were out of stock, of course. So I think they're back in stock. I'll have to check and see. But all I got to do is get this on the ground and take it out for a test ride. Still a little bit more work I want to do on the tuning the computer for idle, and I still need to do a bunch of wide open pulls, and I really need to data log my wideband. Right now I have no way of doing that. There's ways you can hook it into the factory ECM, and I tried the way everyone said to do on the Furums, and I never got it to work. There is another way where I can disconnect the oil temp sensor and just hook it to that, and just do without the oil temp, logging the oil temp while I'm logging the wideband. Then log the wideband and make my adjustments, and once they're all done, I can just hook it back up to the oil temp sensor. It's really nice to have that temp sensor. On a 90, they actually goes to the ECM. One wire goes to the dashboard, which tells you your oil temperature on the dash, but two other wires go to the ECM, and that's how you calculate your oil changes. So it's, right now this motor is running really cool as far as oil temps. The oil temps are running right around the same as the water temps, which is really good. I always like my oil temps on the hotter side. I like to see them get up to at least boiling point of water. And the reason you want that is it boils off the condensation inside the crankcase. As long as you have a good operating PVC system in there sucking the moisture out, you don't really need to worry about it. That's what's really important about a PVC system, or a PCV system rather, positive crankcase ventilation. Other project I want to do is the Delron bushings on these upper control arms. I thought about doing it now while it's up on jack stands, but I still got to get a hydraulic press for pressing out the old bushings. Right now I have poly bushings in them. If you haven't seen it, I did some videos on the poly bushings after 75,000 miles. They're all in excellent shape. The rear ones for the dog bones, those had some the bushings themselves were still in excellent shape, but the metal bushing that goes over the bolt that they ride on was starting to corrode. So I just went and replaced them with new ones. These are in good shape. The lower ones were in excellent shape. I just re-lubed them, and the upper ones, in order for me to lube them, I need to take them apart. And I figured, well, I'm going to take them apart. To do that, I got to press them. And if I'm going to do that, why not try out the Delron bushing? I'm just going to try them on the top. See how it is. If they're too harsh, I'll go back to the polyurethane bushings. But it's the only way to find out is to install them. They'll have should have a lot less bind and a lot more compliance with the road, I hope. These actually work a lot better than the factory bushings in my mind, especially if they're really old. Because bushings get old, they just get rock hard. Whether they're worn or not, they just get rock hard. So that's what's going on with the C4. Hopefully those leaks are fixed. We'll find out as soon as the rain stops and I get back out on the road. I might take a road trip tomorrow anyway, even if it's raining down south. It's supposed to be really nice down there. I'll find out. Other things I need to do is get over here and clean this area up. When I changed the transmission seal on this, I had to pull the drive shaft. To do that, I had to loosen remove the bolts on the rear of the C-beam and slide that over in order to get the drive shaft out. So when I put the bolts back up, I made what they call a beam plate, and basically it holds the nuts in place and spreads the load over the C-beam more. I really did it. It just makes it easier. You don't have to get up there with a wrench. Just put that plate up there, get the bolts started, and drive them home. I mean, you don't need to worry about sitting there holding a wrench in a really tight spot, holding those nuts in place. It just makes it a lot easier. So sorry I didn't film any of that or working on here. I just wanted to get things done, and I just didn't feel like bothering with the camera and all that stuff. It's just I got to be in the right mood to do that. So hopefully, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do the rest of the day. Is I'll upload and I'll edit and upload this video, and get to cleaning up this area, this on the ground. Maybe I'll come out and work on that idle a little bit more. I don't know. We'll find out in future videos. I guess that's it. I'll end the video here. Everybody have a great day, and God bless.